Hi, Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us. So we are ABG, Asian Boss Girl, a podcast for the modern day Asian American woman. And obviously we all know you from the hit show on Netflix, Bling Empire.
I only want to date for love. I'm so tired of other people's judgment.
Are you single yet?
Am I single yet?
And you're clearly an Asian boss girl, Asian boss woman yourself. So we are so excited to have you on here today.
So Kelly, we're gonna ask you about an item in your home and have you go ahead and get that item and then share and tell us about it. You know, the show is called Bling Empire. What is your most prized bling item? Can you show that to us that you have in your home right now?
Ooh, okay. I can show you some stuff in my house, but a lot of the bling stuff are normally in the bank in the safe, so I don't have it accessible right now. But I will show you what I have in my home safe right now. So
My favorite bling things, oh my goodness. I feel like Christine and Anna can show you guys a lot more exciting stuff. Here are some pieces from my home safe. I really like this blue ring. And they have this baby blue is one of my favorite colors. So these matching earrings that goes with it. I also really like these diamond earrings. I think they're just very simple, classy. And then this flower ring I really like as well. I tend to like simpler stuff. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so Kelly, we have some questions that our listeners on ABG has asked, and so we're gonna ask you some of the questions right now. Okay, so we're curious, how did your involvement with Bling Empire come about?
okay, so this has started a while ago. I read the book Crazy Rich Asians, and I'm like, oh my god, these are like all fictional characters are my friends. So I started kind of putting the project together. It was when I partnered up with Jeff Jenkins, who is a veteran in this industry. You know, Jeff did the Kardashians, Simple Life, Harry Show. You know, Jeff and I kind of put the show together a little bit more and defined the idea more. Yeah, and then Jeff took it to Netflix and got the show sold. And you know, we have to obviously thank Crazy Rich Asian for doing so well. And also Fresh Off the Boat, and Convenience Store. There's a lot of projects before us that paved the way for us, but there's never been a reality show. So for us to be able to add another genre to the mass media for Asian representation, we're really proud of this.
Yeah, I think it's hard no matter what when you're the first to do something. And so there's always going to be, you know, flack for it, and there's going to be a lot of love for it. There's just a lot of emotions like riding high for this show. So I'm sure you're feeling all of that. Yeah. Well, as an Asian American woman, what was the most empowering thing for you about the show?
The most empowering thing, again, is the show broke down another barrier for having real diversity across media channels for all cultures. I think Bling Empire also showed a very rare and vulnerable perspective within a culture that we normally like to hide our feelings. But if it's my favorite scene, then the scene that was very empowering for me was when Cherie gave birth. That scene was just so powerful.
Yeah, it was. When that happened, I was like, whoa, we went there. And that was amazing.
Yeah, we went there. It's no filter, very vulnerable.
Did you always want to be an entrepreneur, and how did you kind of land in the entertainment space?
For me, I studied finance because I just didn't know where else to go to. I didn't really plan this. I felt like, you know, God had a plan for me, and I kind of just followed the footstep for being an entrepreneur. And I think my first official entertainment job was when I was the managing partner for East West Artists. We managed some of the biggest talents in Asia and the US market. So for me, this has been a long journey about fighting for Asian representation in media and getting talents, Asian talents in front of camera as well as behind the camera.
I love that has been your mission like through and through. And now you're getting to this place where it's like Netflix show, what number like top five in the freaking world. Hello, that is amazing. That's such an amazing accomplishment. I'm curious, where did you grow up and what was your childhood like?
Yeah, I grew up in Kunming, China. I was there until I was about 10 years old. I had a pretty blessed childhood. You know, moving to US was definitely challenging for us. My mom moved out here to do anti-cancer research at UIC, University of Illinois in Chicago. And then she also worked 2 other side jobs, you know, at restaurants and stuff like that. And then it was definitely challenging because you're starting over, you know, immigrant life. I think our first apartment was like $250 a month. And then I just remember there were like rats in the wall. So, you know, my dad moved back after a year because he had to wash carpets and do all these weird odd jobs. And at that time, I didn't really get it because I was like, you know, but why is he going back? He said, oh, I'll come back, but he never did. You know, my mom was so strong that she's like I want my daughter to have more a better education and more opportunities, so she stayed out here. While my dad, his ego couldn't handle it, and he wanted to go back to a high position job. When I started going to therapy, I really started discovering how much that event in my life has affected me today. So yeah, and then from 10 to 21, I was in Chicago. At the beginning, we were at not really nice neighborhoods. So, and then when I was about 8th grade, my mom moved to a really nice suburb, so I can be at a better school.
Yeah. That is amazing. Yeah, I didn't know the details of your childhood story, and thank you so much for sharing that.
What is the least expensive item in your home that is the most meaningful to you?
The most meaningful thing to me in my house, she's not a thing, but it's Princess Sophia. We just rescued her not super long ago. She just finished all her surgeries and health checks. So yeah, I love her so much.
And my baby.
Another thing I really admired about you, Kelly, on the show is how vulnerable you were with your relationship with Drew. And one of our listeners is curious about, how has your relationship with Drew changed since the show aired?
So Paris was filmed in end of 2018, and the rest of the project was filmed in 2019. After the show wrapped, we broke up for about 5 to 6 months, and then in kind of starting June, we start slowly spending some time together. I am just so proud of him. He inspires me so much. He still is going to therapy and just really working on himself. It's been night and day since we got back together. It has a lot to do with the way we were brought up. He's from a Latin family that's super loud. That's the way they show passion. And his other part is his family is Native American. Same thing, and also with him, like he always tried to just better himself, right? Because he didn't really have a lot of guidance. So all that stuff he's doing, I'm just really proud of him. And, we're just keep working on ourselves, and we just want to be the best versions of ourselves for each other.
Yeah, I know that could not have been easy. Anytime there's like childhood trauma, that does carry with you to your adulthood, and it shows up again in your relationships, in your love relationships, in your friend relationships.
I just think like with mental health, we were never, I was never educated on that topic growing up. So for me, now that I'm like in my 30s, I really just start knowing myself.
We definitely want to thank you for sharing that, because that is actually a topic that we, our listeners have really resonated with us. The topic of being able to normalize and destigmatize mental health among the Asian community is like a big mission of ours.
So we talked to Kevin recently. I want to know, did he ever have a shot, or was he always in the friend zone?
Ooh, I absolutely adore Kevin. We still talk regularly. But with Kevin, I think at that time also it was so quick. It was literally right after Drew and I, broke up. I don't even have the mind space to jump from one relationship to another love interest. For me, I always take the proper time off. Otherwise, you're not honoring the other person. Kevin and I are great friends, and we're still going to be.
Kevin did say to us that when a girl kind of says she's like on the rocks with her boyfriend, he's like, "Oh, I think that's a green light to like go in." And then I was like, "No, Kevin, that's not.
That's like, a red light."
Yeah.
The thing that Kevin doesn't realize, he needs to take the proper time and step. He is so used to girls throwing themselves at him left and right. So he's like, ooh, I'm gonna make pancakes for this person, pancake for that person, pancake for everybody.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But it's all about let's dig deeper, let's really get to know somebody and really,
Interesting. Yeah, we actually heard Kevin kind of say a little bit of the opposite, where he's not used to women throwing themselves at him.
Oh, please. I'm interested in seeing that guy's DM.
So you did share on the show that you had gone through a divorce.
Yes.
And, divorce is a very challenging topic and experience for anyone, but especially for Asian culture, there is this kind of weighted tabooness around it. For any of our listeners out there who might be going through, a divorce or a challenging relationship experience, what could you share with them about your personal experience in rebuilding yourself, because you did it so successfully after your divorce?
I think really is about self-love. It's about finding yourself again and finding out what you want to do. For me, one of the things I lost myself a lot in my previous relationship. It's always about what the other person wanted, right? What they want to do, what do they want to, how could I help them? It was never about myself. So finding, self-love and redirecting all that energy I was putting on other people to myself, that was probably very challenging for me. Either give up or you keep fighting. You only have two choices. So for me, I just want to keep fighting. I want to turn every failure into a success.
Watching the show, we felt like that fire in you. Like there's a strength about you that we felt.
Can you take us to your fridge? I want to know what is in Kelly's fridge.
Oh my goodness, it's such a mess. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'll be back. Please don't judge me. This is so embarrassing because I didn't realize I had to show my fridge today. So sorry guys. You guys know that I don't really cook, so it's literally a lot of takeout boxes. I had my Sichuan food last night. I love my spicy food. But yeah, I ordered Sichuan impression last night at like 10 p.m. because I was craving spicy food. So yeah, I have a lot of leftovers.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Because I grew up in Kunming, so I love spicy food. But there's not a lot of Kunming or restaurants around here. There's 2 in San Gabriel Valley. So I normally Sichuan impression is in Westwood. So I get Postmates from them pretty regularly.
It's funny because I had Sichuan instant noodles last night, but it's not the same, you know?
That sounds pretty good too.
I think all of us love instant noodles. What is your go-to, like, I need to pack these type of instant noodles in my bag?
Okay, can I show you guys just because we're doing
Oh my
shows?
gosh,
Yeah.
please.
Oh, Shin ramen.
These are good.
Ramen is so good.
What is one thing you wish people knew about you that wasn't expressed or shown on the show?
I think the one thing I really wish they show a little bit more is about, my work, right? I'm so passionate about what I do, and then most of my time I really do spend working, that's why a lot of time with my friends, I can't do lunches with them or, on a weekday or go out shopping with them because I have a lot of responsibilities as for work. So I hope we can, see more of that season 2.
Ooh, okay. Well, you just dropped a little. Is there going to be a season 2?
We don't know. We didn't get the official okay yet, but I'm finger crossed. I'm just putting the good vibes out there.
I'd love to know, what is one piece of advice that you've picked up throughout your career and your life that you'd want to share with our listeners?
Turn every failure into success. For me, I've always been in male-dominated industries, to be honest. So for I think as a woman entrepreneur, just walk in the room like you belong there. Talk to people like you belong there, and just know your self-worth.
Can you share with everyone what is next for you? Are you working on any new shows, any new business ventures?
My new production company, Webhouse Media, just launched this year, and we are in post for a feature right now. I have a new TV show called Cypher coming out spring. I have a music documentary that I'm finishing up, and then about 5 other projects in the pipeline to shoot in Q1 and Q2 this year. So.
Oh my gosh. What the heck?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Whew, okay.
The better question would have been, what are you not doing? Yeah.
Thank you ladies so much for today. I really enjoyed speaking to you guys and getting to know you guys. Congrats again on all your success in the podcast. And I'm going to be a follower now, listen to every single episode. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.